Good evening, guys. I guess evening, right? Let's get this quick so you guys can go have dinner with your families.
So just general thoughts of your team's effort compared to Utah?
Well, obviously we were disappointed at Utah. We didn't play well, and I'm going to give Utah credit. I'm sure they had something to do with that, and I'm sure circumstance and human nature had a little bit to do with it. And the last thing is, we just didn't step up to the plate. And so, getting back out there today was good. And I knew it wasn't going to be a game where it felt good. It felt comfortable. I mean, I know, Coach Fox for a long time. He's a good coach. His team's struggling. I knew they were going to come in here and fight. I know fans and people are going to see the record, and maybe our players too, and think it's going to come easy. And it's not how it goes, and it's not how you want it to go. So, I knew it was going to be a grimy game, and I was on the guys pretty hard the last couple of days. And anytime a coach kind of turns the heat up, you get some response, but you also get some guys that are a little bit tentative, and they got to work themselves through it. And we did today. So all in all, I'm happy with the way it turned out, and I'm looking forward to a day off tomorrow because I think the guys need a day away from me. And, a day just to stay out of the gym, and then gearing up to play a great Indiana team on Saturday.
For someone who is as big a fan of the 2-point shot, and then you have the struggles with the 3, is that something you want them to just shoot their way through, or focus more on what works best?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, offense is about taking great shots. And, in Maui and some of those early games, I didn't tell them to really try to make your threes today. And it just happens sometimes. You make them, sometimes you don't. And, I haven't even looked at the shooting numbers, what they were today. I have to put these glasses on. We shot 49%. I bet most teams in the country would be pretty excited shooting 49% and making 19 of 26 from the free throw line. Yeah, the threes didn't go today, but we have good shooters shooting those 3-point shots. And, all in all, the law of averages will play out, I think, in good favor for Arizona.
Tentative. Do you think that was part of the 3-point shooting, or maybe just?
Well, I wouldn't say tentative. Tentative was part of that. Listen, Cal came out and they played kind of a, they were switching between what we'd call kind of a matchup zone, which we honestly just worked on yesterday for the first time. And I didn't think, coming back from Utah on, Friday's practice, we needed to focus on ourselves. So we kind of did some stuff, going over how we wanted to attack that matchup, and for the most part, I thought we were okay. And and then sometimes they'd be in straight man-to-man. So, just switching defenses. Maybe you're not getting that same rhythm of shot where for 40 minutes against a certain defense.
What are your biggest concerns after the last 2, or are people looking too much into it?
Listen, I would think so. I would think people are looking too much into it. I think there's a simple formula, and you have 1A and 1B, effort and toughness. And then you have 2A and 2B. You have execution and intelligence. And 2A and 2B don't matter if you're not mastering 1A and 1B. So just every time you take the court, you got to play with great effort. You got to play with great toughness. Then you know what? The better you execute your stuff and the smarter you do it, the better chance you have to win. So we're like any team. We're learning that. We're learning that formula. And, as coaches, we got to learn it and learn how to apply it to this team. And, as players, they got to learn it. We have young players that are trying to figure it out. We have veterans that are coming back, some of them in new roles, and we have transfers that you're trying to blend in. And I'm sure almost every other team in the country is dealing with the same exact things we are.
You guys only turned the ball over 5 times today, your lowest of the season in a game. What did you think about that?
That's awesome. I wish I could, find a formula to do that every single game, but I don't know if you're going to play the way we play and have 5 turnovers a game consistently. It's just, it's kind of, there's a little bit of a give and take there. So, it's nothing that I really stressed any more than we normally do. Just the guys did a good job. And, usually over the course of a season, guys seem to tighten that stuff up a little bit.
You have Trace Jackson Davis next weekend. How do you sort of stimulate kind of what he's going to bring in practice throughout the week? Also, Race Thompson, just one of the more talented front courts.
Really good players. And, we have a great scout team. I mean, obviously they're not going to be as talented as those guys, but they'll do a great job simulating what they do, and we'll do the best job trying to prep our team to get ready to play. Obviously a traditionally great program. It's going to be a great atmosphere against really good players, and it's an opportunity we need, and we're looking forward to it.
What's your assessment of bench production at this point in the season?
Obviously, I wish it was more. But I think I got to do a good job developing those guys. Like I said on the radio, I was writing some notes down for myself, kind of, leading into this week. And the number one thing I wrote down is develop the young guys. I gotta develop those guys. I gotta get them better. And our staff, we got to do a great job getting them better and get them to hang in there and keep confident as they're going through struggles they've never went through. And over the course of the year, I think those guys are all really good players. I'm going to push them, but I'm going to also be a little bit patient with them. And then I think as this season plays out, they're going to be a great asset.
Considering the,
Assess Pella's play in the last few weeks.
Pel's a great player. I mean, obviously his numbers maybe aren't where he would like them to be, or where we kind of expected him to be, but that happens sometimes. And I have, if Pella is my problem, then I probably don't have very many problems. And Pella's not a problem. He's going to figure it out. And, he's going to have a great season. And, I think you guys you saw some of the early performances he had. He just got to hang in there sometimes. He'll hang in there, and he's really going to help us. I mean, it's a guy that I love having on our team, and I completely trust.
as much as you get the ball to Umar and his ability to draw fouls, is there any concern with his free throw shooting lately?
Umar's probably never going to be Larry Bird from the free throw line. But I know he's better than he was today. I mean, last year he was around that 70% mark, and I think leading into this game so far, I think he's around that 70% clip. So he just needs to stay on it in practice. But I mean, listen, there's still value. There's still value when you go 3 of 10 from the line. I know we can get greedy and want a little bit more, but you're putting tons of foul pressure on the other team. I mean, those things are body blows, and he does a great job of wearing other teams out, and he's been really, really consistent so far this year, which is awesome to see.
Senator talked about gap defense and getting better at raking when they're rolling around the screens. Did you see the similar things out there?
He's getting technical with you guys. Our defense has to get better, I got to help, build a better defense for this team. We could do some of the things we did last year, and maybe some things we have to do different. And those are the things you learn over the course of the year that you honestly couldn't predict going into the season. So you have to let it play out right in front of you, and then you got to have enough guts to make some tough decisions and change some coverages and some plans. So, I look forward. I love that part of coaching, so I look forward to doing that here in the coming weeks.
Do you feel any better that Utah went on the road today?
Nope. You know what? I'm going to tend our own garden. And Utah's got a good basketball team, and we felt that firsthand. So I'm not surprised they won. Somebody told me it was a close game. But we're going to worry about Arizona basketball, and 100% locked in here. I mean, that's where I'm going to put all my effort and energy.
How do you think Adama's played so far this year?
I think he's going through things that all young players do. I think he had a little bit of early success. It's kind of been interesting. I mean, he kind of got off to a slow start this fall practice. Then he twisted his ankle. Then he kind of had a great month where he was really coming on. And I think he played okay in those exhibition games in those first couple games. And then we got over to Maui and he didn't play great, and he maybe didn't get a ton of opportunities. And, coming back these last 2 games probably hasn't been super productive, but the breakthrough's coming. He's just got to hang with it. And the other day, I have a quote I use with our guys all the time. I mean, what is learned through struggle is way more valuable than what comes easy. And struggle is part of this process. So I want these guys to struggle a little bit, but we gotta get them through it, and they got to get out to the other side.
Talking about defense, what about you had Bella and Courtney mostly on Askew. I was just curious your thoughts there. They were obviously setting us.
Devin Askew's a good basketball player. He's got a lot of pride. He's a great competitor, and he has a ton of freedom. and for them to score and be productive, he's got to take some tough shots, and he made some tough shots. I mean, he's a really good player, and I thought we had stretches where we didn't look great on him, and we had stretches where I thought we did a really good job. I actually thought Cedric did a really good job on him, kind of that last run in the game. He kind of took him, so but hey, I'm nothing but respect for him, and I tip my hat to him.
Azula seemed kind of shocked that he took 18 shots after the game, saying that maybe he's got to pass it to his teammates more. But he had a great game, 25 points. What did you think of Azula's game?
I mean, if you go 7 of 10, no, that was Umar, right? No, 9 of 18. Yeah, I mean, Zoo's a good player, and I just think he's got to stay locked in a little bit. At the start of that second half, I think he missed a few bunnies, and making layups is hard, and it's something we practice every single day. And he just relaxed a little bit and smoked a couple lay-ins, and I think that kind of created a little uneasy feeling. And if I'm sure, but he's done a great job finishing overall this year. I mean, I don't know what his percentages are. Pretty good, right? What? That's it? Oh, wow. Okay, we got to get that better. Yeah, I mean, we want him over 60, and so we'll get him there. And if he locks in a little bit more, he'll get there. But he's a good player.
Last question. Yeah, I was just curious. What do you see as the difference? I mean, he had that first half. He missed, I think, one or two shots after Utah, where he did miss a lot of bunnies up there too.
Well, if I gave you the secret, you might take my job. So I'm going to keep that secret locked in. We have some techniques we work on, and he's actually gotten a lot better at them, and he just needs to lock in to his process.
Just back to defense. With Courtney, he's played for other coaches before. He has a rep as being a good defender, but is there a learning curve with your defense that he's got?
It shouldn't be any more of a learning curve, and at his point, he should be fine. And guys, he's a good defender. I want a little bit more out of him, and I want him to let loose a little bit, And then there's some gray area things out there. I want him to solve problems. But listen, I'm holding him to the same standard I am everybody else. And the only reason I'm comfortable telling you that is because, he's a mature, good dude, and he can handle me saying that, and I know he'll respond in a positive way, and I think he's going to have a great year defensively for us. See you guys.